To the Batmobile. Let's go.
Atomic batteries to power. Turbines to speed.
Roger. Ready to move out.
All right, thanks for joining us, Basement Dwellers. Basement Boy Banter, or Basement Boy Reviews. I forgot what we were doing. Basement Boy Reviews, number 7. We missed a couple movies. Actually, just really one, the Terminator movie. We were going to review that, but...
Sort of did a review.
He talked about it in one of the episodes, so it's a half review. So, but either way, this is review number 7. God, see, I'm already off. I'm jumping to the next thing. And yes, there's a new person at the table. You normally don't see this person. You might have heard his voice, and you've seen his work because he does all the editing and sound for this show. Mm-hmm. This is my brother, Toby.
What's up?
Also known as Ybot. Go check out his band, Blue Felix.
Oh yeah, do that.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely check him out. He looks a lot different in a mask.
A lot sexier.
If he says so. So this is our Ant-Man review.
Yeah.
So Marvel, it's Phase 2 finale. It was the last movie in Phase 2. So wrapping up second phase of the Marvel movies. I don't know how many times I'm gonna say 2 or Phase 2. Mm-hmm. But it was what were your first impressions? Let's just get right into it.
Are we gonna spoilers before?
Oh yeah. Thanks for reminding me. So not only am I your host, Thor, and this is Brian. We talked about him. We're going to do a little something different than we normally do on the reviews. We're going to do spoilers because this review is going to be posted after opening weekend probably or on Sunday. So spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie, probably stop watching.
It's a good movie, so you should go see that first.
And then watch the review. So either way, now that we've warned you, spoiler time. Let's get right into it. Just initial thoughts.
Initial thoughts? I guess the easiest comparison, but not a great comparison, is Guardians, just because it was like the last.
Well, because it was a
besides
chance.
Avengers, you know.
But it was a chance. Like Guardians was their first risk. You know, I mean, Iron Man, Thor, Cap, Avengers. These are more safe bets.
Right.
Guardians was the first time they took a risk on a property, and it hit huge. Mm-hmm. So it allowed them to take a risk on Ant-Man. Because Ant-Man wouldn't have worked in, Phase 1. You know what I mean? That wouldn't have worked in the last phase. But I think it works now that you've built the trust with your audience. You're, 10 films in now? Or 8 or 9 films in, whatever. Mm-hmm. This is the perfect time. This was actually the perfect time to do this movie. So... What about you there, big man? What did you think?
I thought it was good. I think, for me, I'm like a person who isn't as nerdy as you two. So,
right.
No. I had no clue, at all who Ant-Man was, anything about his backstory. I knew nothing going into the movie theater. So, for that, it was I feel like it was a lot better not knowing anything because they explained it all in the movie really well.
They did do a good job of bringing you up to speed.
Awesome, yeah.
And explaining who Hank Pym was and stuff like that, and no, that's a great point because that's different. I mean, I always forget when we walk into a movie, there's so much we already know walking in.
You guys know everything. You knew when I asked you in the theater, I was like, "Is her mom?" I don't know what the girl's name was, but is her mom a superhero? And you're like, I don't want to spoil it for her.
Oh, Janet. Yeah.
Because I knew right away because the doctor dude was beating around the bush on how she really died.
Yep, with the plane accident and stuff like that.
But you already knew that, you know what I mean? So that was I got surprised. And
can I ask an outsider perspective? Because I really wanted to know this because I thought they did a good job. What do you think of his powers? Would you say he's up with the Avengers as far as power strength?
We were just saying that on the way out of the theater. He's not even I don't know. It's kind of like Tony Stark-ish. You know, he's not really a superhero. It's just a dude in a suit that can do it.
Right, but with the suit, would you say
with the power set the
I would
suit
definitely
has.
say that because of the shrinking abilities and the super strength, and I would say that. Yeah.
See,
and they didn't even show spoilers he can turn in giant, so he can shrink, but he can also
Yeah, they didn't
like,
show that at all.
no, they didn't do that. They'll do
Which
that.
is
They'll do
weird.
that.
Well,
because
they
they're saving that.
They did it once technically.
That's
when
true.
he was
That's
coming
true.
back.
When he- to get out of remember to get out of the negative zone
atomic
or the
or whatever,
subatomic zone. He put the blue thing in his thing and hit
Yeah.
it, and then he went and then he hit.
Because that was a
And
growing
he came
one.
back to normal.
Because remember the one button wouldn't work on
Yeah.
this side, but this one did, and that's
Yeah.
how it'd shrink every time and then come back to normal size. Well, this one,
Is the grow button, huh?
yup. So
Okay.
when he hit the blue in,
That makes more sense now.
now he can kind of blow up,
Crazy.
Well, and
and it can work even
Well, and
bigger and bigger.
now that they showed that you could go to that subatomic or whatever place and come back from it, you know what I mean? They could use that to their advantage too.
It opens that whole world up too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that. So, yeah, I mean, initial thoughts for me, I didn't have the highest of expectations walking in, and it definitely exceeded what I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was a really good movie. So, I mean, talking about some of the stuff we liked about the movie, I really liked just the characters overall, like the different relationships. I mean, this is more of a character-driven Marvel movie, which I really appreciated. It's not Avengers. This isn't giant set pieces, action, 360-degree camera shots of, laser blasts, arrows flying, and hammers swinging. This is a much more focused and condensed story. And at its core, it's exactly what I hoped it was going to be. It's a heist film. If you love Italian Job, if you love Ocean's 11, if you love like a good heist movie with a little bit of comedy, a lot of comedy, I thought this is definitely the movie for you.
Yeah.
You know?
A lot of comedy.
So
Well,
what are a couple things that worked? What are a couple things that worked for you in the movie?
I don't know. I mean, I thought like I said, the all around like just how they went about it was really good, but it kind of I kind of went in there like having the Marvel expectation of like a crazy
Action.
opposite of what you were saying. Yeah, like the craziness at all points, and I was kind of like, I don't know if I was like surprised by it or what, but it wasn't. I don't know. There was definitely parts where it was like slowed down. It
Yeah.
wasn't crazy all the time, but.
well, and then they brought it in the end when
Yeah.
that
Oh,
last
yeah,
little
that
action
last-
thing.
Well, and the
last
part,
action.
it seems like the parts where they were slowed down more too is where they'd throw in more of the comedy, so it made up for it really good. You know what I mean?
That's true. It did. When they slowed down, they would, and that's because I actually thought that too. At a couple points, it drags just a little bit, but right
Yeah.
when it gets to that point where you're like, all right, all of a sudden,
A good example would be like right when the daughter and the doctor are like about to start crying, he's standing there. And he like
Yeah.
totally ruins the moment. I don't even remember what he says, but he was like,
It's like, did I ruin that?
yeah, he's like, I totally ruined that. And he was like,
Yeah.
yeah.
They do cut those.
Oh, he's like, this is great. That's what he said.
Oh,
or
yeah,
something.
yeah,
He's like,
yeah,
this
yeah.
is just great. He tore a rebonding or something. I don't know what he said.
and they
It's
kind of
so
cut
funny.
those. They kind of cut those dramatic moments
Yeah.
with a little bit
Yeah.
of humor.
Oh yeah,
You know. So
that's good.
I'd say one of the things I liked most about this movie was Michael Pena, the dude who plays Luis. He
Oh.
steals the show.
He's so
that dude
funny
is
in that movie.
so funny.
Yeah.
I mean, just his lines, and when they do that thing where he's talking,
For everyone,
but they
yeah.
show the other actors' mouths moving,
Oh,
but it's
God,
his
yeah.
voice coming out, but the other actors are saying what he's saying, but what he's saying isn't really what they were saying in the conversation. It's more like his way of saying it. I don't know. The way they did that was brilliant.
Yeah.
Like that was just, it was so funny, especially that last one when he's talking about he's got mad skills. Like I'm a guerrilla reporter. Like no way are they talking that
Yeah,
way.
the little Asian girls now.
Yeah, she is not saying those things. She is definitely not saying those things. I actually heard she's like YouTube famous.
Really?
Yeah, she's like huge, like on YouTube. That's all. Like I don't know how
For
she ended
what?
up. I don't know. She's like I don't know. She does something. I didn't really look into it too much.
She's
I
a
just heard
guerrilla reporter.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
there you
apparently, duh.
There you go. No, that was great. No, the set pieces were cool too, because it wasn't the giant action set pieces that we're used to, but when they had the way they shrunk him down, I thought was fantastic. Because now, if you think about it, what Peyton Reed did, who's the director, if you didn't know, Peyton Reed directs Ant-Man. If you're still mad that Edgar Wright didn't direct it, don't be, because it's an amazing film. But what Peyton Reed did with that, now every film's gonna have to do that. Like that's the way he's gonna shrink, and that's great that it worked the way it did, because just moving forward, that's how all the when they go down into the small world, and it didn't look like like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids or those movies from the 90s or late 90s.
No, it looked pretty good.
It looked a lot
looked
better.
really good,
a lot
yeah.
better. And the ant stuff, like, what did you guys think about that ant stuff? Like the way they control the ants. and,
That
like,
was like because I like Ant-Man's power set.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just a fan of superheroes who have weird power sets, like Aquaman and stuff.
Yeah.
I guess the controlling,
underrated.
the
power
controlling, but like they showcased amazingly how good controlling those ants was. You know what I mean? Like they showed, like, had that montage where they're showing the special powers of each ant and what they're good for and stuff, and like where you'd use them and stuff. And then he's like running around with the ants, and he's like, you know, like sort of making friends with ants, but
Oh,
not
yeah.
like
Totally gets
No.
connected to that one.
Heroes. Yeah,
Yeah.
names that one.
Anthony.
Yeah.
Anthony.
But no, but it's just awesome how like they show like, because the other guy's shrinking suit or whatever has the lasers on it.
Yellow-
So it's basically
Yellow
like-
Jacket.
right.
Yeah.
It'd be basically like if Iron Man put shrinking into his suit. You know what I mean? Like shooting the lasers and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
So his suit is like a million times better if you're thinking
way more
classic.
techno.
Classic, like which superhero would be better, who'd win in a fight. It's like obviously Yellow Jacket if you're thinking classic superhero.
Yeah.
But they totally turn around with like the ants and like making those like an important part to everything and like actually matter. So I don't know. It was cool how they showcased how important the ants were to his power. So it wasn't Shrink Man, it's Ant-Man.
Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Well, and I like how too, like, who thought that having ants put sugar in coffee would be interesting in any way, shape, or form in a movie? Like, honestly, like, who would have thought like that would have been like an interesting part? I just loved how there's so many Easter eggs in that. The throwback to Peggy Carter and Agent Carter, the bomb that goes off at the end. Did you watch Agent Carter?
Mm-mm.
I know you didn't watch Agent Carter. Well, there's that implosion bomb at the end.
Yeah, it
that's
sucks everything
from
out.
Agent Carter.
Really?
So that was either Howard's Stark technology that Pym created or stole or somebody stole from somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So it was literally the same bomb that was in Agent Carter. So that was a cool Easter egg. The Easter egg, you know, when he's talking about when Cross is talking about the Ant-Man suit, and he says like Tales of the Astonishing.
Mm-hmm.
That's the actual comic that Ant-Man initially showed up in. I mean, the Easter eggs in this are crazy. There's so many Easter eggs, and how the Howard Stark building ends up being Avengers building.
Yeah.
Like, that was
cool,
awesome.
yeah.
Those are just great little references. And going to that part right there when they introduce Falcon and he fights Falcon, that's a hell of a little fight scene.
Yeah,
like,
that's
it's
cool.
not Thor versus Cap versus
No,
Iron
yeah.
Man, but that was a well put together fight sequence, and
Yeah,
it
it was
really
cool.
showcased
Smart.
Ant-Man's powers versus somebody else,
Right.
You know, versus another Avenger. You know,
Fully trained person too. Already,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
you know, for sure.
That was his first mission or whatever.
Well, and that's what everyone wants to see is the Avengers fight because that's kind of like
Yeah.
a staple in like I always watch that animated the Avengers.
Earth Mightiest Heroes.
Yeah, and every time they got a new hero, they fought all the
Somebody's
other
gonna fight.
Avengers.
Yeah.
They
Everyone
always
else
fight
fought.
first,
proving
and then
ground.
they get friends. They always
Right.
fight first, and then
Like there's some
Proving, yeah, it's proving
miscommunication where they have to fight.
Yeah.
But that's what everyone wants to see. All everyone's originally concerned with is who'd win in a fight.
Yeah.
So they like put it to rest right away and they're like, now they can be friends.
And I was like, "Don't tell Cap." That
Well,
was my favorite line right there.
And then in the end, when those
Yeah, we'll get to
yeah,
those.
it's
We'll get to those.
crazy.
We'll definitely get to those. There's 2 post-credit scenes, and they are both well worth staying for. So we find out, like Toby was saying earlier, Janet Van Dyke, Hank Pym's wife, was Wasp, which a lot of fans have been wanting Wasp, because Wasp and Hank Pym's Ant-Man are original founders of Avengers in the comics. Mm-hmm. So some people were kind of upset that they weren't in the first Avengers,
Yeah.
but I thought it made sense for the way Marvel is telling this story, because it's
Well-
not the comics. It's gotta
Makes
separate itself out.
And they couldn't have old Hank Pym. That's
Well,
why they
couldn't
had
have.
to
and
switch.
and Hank Pym's a kind of, if you know a lot of like Hank Pym's comic history, it's pretty bad.
That's why they had to switch.
I like
so he's
Scott
just
Lang
like,
better as an Ant-Man. I like that they're using him, and it was perfect because like you were saying, they showed Ant-Man's been around from back in the day,
Yeah.
you know, and there was a Wasp. She went subatomic and died. Which we'll get to that
No,
too. I don't think
she's
I think she's around in kicking.
That's why that was like you could see the hope in that doctor dude's eyes.
At the end?
Yeah,
Yep.
because he's like, oh, you don't remember anything, and the dude's, he's like, yeah, right.
He's
you
like,
know?
there's something.
He's like, okay, it's
Yeah.
on now.
Yeah, no, it was... And yeah, so we find out she's alive, and then Hope Van Dyke is their daughter, and we find out some stuff about her later. So she's working with Cross, or she's pretending to work with Cross while they set up this whole heist to steal the Yellow Jacket suit. Yellow Man.
Yeah, he's bad.
I was thinking Purple Man from Jessica Jones. Yellow Jacket suit. And that's where everything comes from. So, like I said, Michael Pena's Luis. We had T.I. and you know the hacker dude. You know what he was from? Remember the Dark Knight? Remember?
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
the guy who he's when Joker and them they try to shoot the mayor
assassinate.
and they
Yep.
kill Gordon.
Gordon, yeah.
And Harvey Dent finds the one bad guy or whatever, and he's like yelling at him or
yeah,
whatever.
okay, now I know.
That's that
Crazy.
dude.
Wow, that is that dude.
Yep.
How'd you figure that out?
I realized it last night. I just didn't say
You're a
anything.
freak.
I watched a lot of movies, man. So no, they were great supporting roles, like comedy relief. Like I said, Michael Pena stole the movie.
But not in like an annoying bad way
no.
like that guy from Jurassic World. He stole that movie in the sense that you wish he would stop showing up.
Right.
But he
Whoa.
just keeps coming in like someone who's stealing out of your fridge, like a weird neighbor who comes
That
over
dude
too
was
much.
just- I mean,
In Ant-Man, it was like a scenario of like perfectly placed actors for the characters. You know what I mean? Like everyone did their part perfectly.
always cast
Yeah,
brilliantly.
and everyone was like T.I. and that other dude were definitely like supporting actors.
Well,
to,
and they didn't fish
To Paul
for
Rudd.
Yeah.
To Paul Rudd.
things for every member to do. You know what I mean?
No, yeah.
Like they weren't like, you're gonna do something that you obviously don't have a skill set for, but we're gonna pretend you
That's
do
what I
all
mean,
of a
yeah.
sudden.
They
It was like
cast everyone like perfect.
the
you know
hacker
what I mean?
guy did the one hacking thing he needed to do.
Yep.
The car driver guy.
T.I. stole that cop car.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Oh man, that was
good.
awesome. That
So
was
he
awesome.
drove, and then
Yeah.
the other guy,
Luis, he
yeah.
knocked out that guard, and then he went back to get him and saved his life when the building was about to explode. That was kind of a cool.
But I mean,
nod.
all he did was infiltrate. You know what I mean? Like pretend to be a
He's
guard.
whistling. It's a small world.
He's like, "Are we the good guys?"
So that's another Easter egg right there. Yeah, we're the good guys, right? It feels kind of weird.
It's just kind of weird, man.
That was funny though that he's whistling. That's another Easter egg. He's whistling. It's a small world because it's a Disney property, so they can use any Disney song they want.
I love that they've started doing that with like Ultron with the Pinocchio.
Yep.
There are
Oh,
no
yeah.
strings on me or whatever that he
What?
was
I never
singing.
even realized that.
Oh,
See,
yeah.
these are things that you guys only realize, and the average human is not. Gonna
No,
pick up.
yeah.
Well, that's what we talk about. It's like the heart, like the more like. You know, that's the basement boys. We're the ones who realize that stuff. You know, like mom and dad, you like they're your average person.
Yeah, but
Is
even
it-
if you weren't, I mean, if you liked
No,
Pinocchio,
but you
you would
gotta
know
be
that
really-
I ain't
song.
putting that together. I didn't realize it at all. I just.
When
thought
was
it
the last time you
sick
watched
as
Pinocchio?
That's super
Long time.
slow.
Yeah, exactly.
the super
It was so
slow,
sick. I was
no
like, this is
strings
so
on
dope,
me.
dude.
Yeah, it's Pinocchio.
Yeah,
That's what makes it
Pinocchio.
even cooler, though. Is
They
it's
just-
some kid's
they slow
song,
that
and
tempo.
Yeah,
they
that
slow
just
that
one
tempo,
upped
and
it
then
for sure.
But that's what I mean.
Twist it.
Being able to do that now, you
Yeah.
bring Disney as like a pop culture thing into
It's more like subliminal.
The Marvel
subliminal,
universe.
I guess.
subliminal messaging.
Right.
It is, well, it is.
Well, and
it
it
is.
is.
Exactly.
In a way, it is for
It's
sure.
gonna give you like a weird old connection to a new movie.
Well,
Well,
and
it makes you. Well, it makes you connect that to
the more
and
connect
important
to
part
other
is
things
it
in
brings
your
it
past.
back
Yeah.
to it feels real now.
Yeah.
Because if you recognize Small World,
Yeah.
it feels more real because it's not like they're in some weird box where they can't say Mountain Dew
Relatable.
unless
Yeah.
like they get some weird brand name deal.
like the Bud Light thing
can do
in
whatever they
Transformers
want.
4.
Right, you know what I mean?
All right. So
we
going,
better
so moving
get
forward.
rapping here.
Yeah. See, this is the guy who's always yelling at
See?
me over here to like finish the
See?
show. Now that we got him on this side, he understands how hard it
can
is to
already
just
feel
start
it. I
talking.
can feel it getting long.
We'll just get to the end. The
Yeah.
action sequence at the end was amazing. I loved how they're changing sizes as they're fighting, different set pieces, the train set piece.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
We didn't even get to like the daughter and stuff like that too, but I thought she did a good job. I just love that.
One of the best
opening
child
line.
actors
The
I've seen in a
giant
long
It's so
time.
ugly. I love it. Like
Yeah.
that was awesome. Like everyone at that point.
Mommy's so happy she choked on her drink.
Yeah, she's
That was awesome. But that end fight sequence with the tank, that ends up going
that's
large
very
and
cool,
stuff
yeah.
like that.
He's
Yep.
like, shots fired. and
Right
there's
when
a
I
tank
saw
about it, and
that
there's a
that
tank.
keychain tank, I was like, "That's a real tank."
I knew right away too. They kept showing it like specifically. And you're like,
They showed it. They showed it when he broke into the house. Wasn't
I didn't
it, like sitting there.
See, I didn't think it was gonna be like a real tank. I thought it was gonna have
No,
something
I figured it was a
cool.
real
Like,
tank.
Ant-Man could get in it.
Yeah, something different. I don't know. I didn't see that coming really.
Yeah, I didn't. No, I didn't see
With
that.
the
it was a
giant
full-blown
keychain
tank.
on it.
Yeah,
You know
that was hilarious.
You know what else I liked about the action in the end there? They took little breaks so it didn't like you weren't like suffocating with action because like he'd hit the Thomas the Train and like boom and then it would show the little Thomas the Train like plastic like on the
Yeah.
window.
Yeah.
So like you could take a breath all of a sudden. It was like, okay, that was funny and the action's good, but you know, I can take a breath. Whereas some movies like Transformers is only action.
Right.
You get halfway through the movie, and now all it is explosions and punches, and it gets to a point where it's so overwhelming, you like need to take a breath.
Yeah.
Where this did a good job letting you take a breath in the middle of the action scene
Yeah.
without throwing you out of the action scene. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely. Definitely.
Cool.
Well, so what was I gonna say? You know, I gotta say it though, man. I like the dude who played Cross in this.
He was pretty good. I don't know
But
who he is.
People
but,
out there in basement world, Lex Luthor. Why does Marvel have to have a better Lex Luthor than DC does? Now I shouldn't say that because we haven't seen Batman vs
Right.
Superman.
Who's Lex Luthor?
Jesse Eisenberg.
That dude that played the villain in Ant-Man.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay.
He should.
Yeah.
He should
He
be.
totally is a Lex Luthor.
Well, because he was
He looks like
evil and like maniacal and,
And
like
he just looks like him. Dude.
he does.
I mean,
Well, with the bald head,
I
he
thought
looks
that right
exactly
away.
like
I was
him.
like,
Well, and when he killed that
This is
dude
weird.
with the thing,
With the
and it was
gun.
like a goop, and he
Yeah.
wiped him up and threw him in the garbage, I was like, I can't believe that's in this movie. That's like
think if
fake gory. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because you
Yeah.
got to think about it like when, like if you saw that in like size,
yeah.
that dude's body is turned inside out. That's what just happened to him. He
Yeah,
turned into a
he's
big
done,
mush
yeah.
of his body. I'm like, that's like
Okay,
sneaky
now think about
gory.
this. Think about this. Instead of Cross going mad wearing the Yellow Jacket suit, that's Lex Luthor going mad from kryptonite poisoning. Like, how perfect is that? You know what I mean? Like,
Too bad
just
now.
that snap. Oh, of course. No, well, we got Jesse Eisenberg.
I don't know
Freaking.
who that is, but
You ever
yeah.
seen the Facebook movie?
Yeah, I think so.
The curly-haired hipster dude.
Oh, what?
Yeah,
Yeah, well, whatever.
yeah.
That was, oh man,
Classic.
a
happens, I
classic,
guess.
classic. So, all right, let's do these end scenes real quick. So they had two post scenes. We haven't even talked much about Hope, Pym's daughter, but we know her mom was Wasp. So the first one, Pym takes her in the basement because she actually wants to wear the suit the whole
Right.
time,
She's
but
ripped, too.
she is ripped. But Pym won't let her because he cares about her. And one of my favorite lines is, "I'm expendable. Don't you get it?" Like, that's why he has to wear the suit. But either way, by the end of the movie, Pym's not as worried. So he takes her down in the basement, shows her the prototype Wasp suit that they've been working on. So now you know she's going to be in another, in probably Civil War or Avengers or the next, she's going to show up again wearing that suit. It had the wings. It looked sweet
It was
too.
pimp,
That looked
yeah.
way sweet.
pimp, yeah.
Because the first Wasp suit they showed was like it was pretty much just Ant-Man with wings,
Yeah.
and a
Yeah.
little bit different. This looked like
It's a
like
new
a
school
one piece
And different color and
and
stuff.
different and like bluish and
It's
stuff like
new,
that. And yeah, it's gonna be sick. Well, and that actually has blasters because she has the Wasp stings, so she actually shoots blasts. That's what those the gloves were. Yep.
They're like
She-
stun guns
Yep,
or whatever.
'cause she shoots because like a wasp stings you, so she has like little
Yeah,
sting
okay.
shots. So that's gonna be we got that one, and that was cool. And then we stuck around and waited all the way to the end, and we got the best treat.
I had to pee
All of a
so
sudden-
bad by then. I was like my brother went pee, and I'm just like, I have to like, and I'm
Yeah,
like dying.
wait,
I'm
wait.
dying.
So all of a sudden we see Chris Evans himself, Captain America, Mr. Steve Rogers, Falcon shows up again, and then they got Bucky. They got the Winter Soldier. Looks like his mechanical arms trapped in a vice or something like that. You're not really sure what's going on. It's completely out of context.
Yeah.
And they're like, we should call Tony. Cap's like, no. And then Falcon's like, I know a guy. And then it just cuts out and says Ant-Man will return. Actually, to set that up though, at the end of the movie, Falcon's looking for Ant-Man after he beat his ass at Avengers building. He's looking for him, and that's when you get the Spider-Man reference. They mentioned we got some dude who crawls walls and swings.
reporter chick says
The
all
reporter
that,
chick
yeah.
says it and makes the Spider-Man reference while Falcon's looking for Ant-Man, and then he makes that reference. I know a guy, so he must have found Ant-Man. They met, and now that's. I have a feeling that's what's going to bring Ant-Man into Civil War. I have a feeling that's what brings him into Civil War, and
Makes sense.
that's the jumping off point for that. So and that's it. So overall, I think we all thought pretty good movie. We're gonna go Ant Hills tonight. We always do something different. So out of 5 Ant Hills, Brian started off. What are you gonna give it?
I'm gonna give it 4.5. Because I don't know
4.5?
about perfect, but it was pretty darn
pretty
close.
darn good.
Yeah.
Toby?
I'll probably do the same, 4.5. Yeah, it wasn't, there was a few things, but yeah.
Nothing
it was
major.
really
That's why I
good.
didn't even
Nothing
do
crazy
like, what we
major,
didn't
no.
like because
No.
there wasn't
Right.
even that much.
No,
And
it was
I'm gonna
good.
let's make it the trifecta. 4.5 Ant Hills out of 5.
That's pretty good.
It's good. Definitely go see it. Go see this movie. If you thought like, it doesn't look that good, the marketing wasn't great. What's this Ant-Man dude? Go see it. Trust me. You're happy you went and saw it.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people aren't seeing it because they're in my boat. Like, before I even seen a trailer, I was like, I'd never heard of Ant-Man in my entire life.
I think
It
it's gonna
sounds
be
a
like
little weird.
Guardians. It's gonna be a surprise
Hopefully.
pickup
Well,
speed.
It did 22 mil on Friday night.
But the deal is that, like,
Not a ton.
Ant-Man's a single guy, whereas Guardians is a whole, slew
Crew.
of
Well,
characters.
that was a space opera. But I mean,
Yeah.
it's a heist movie.
I would
Like
go
we
see
said,
it.
it's a heist
Definitely.
movie. Go see it. Go
Doesn't
see it.
matter
So
if
that's
you
gonna
know
wrap it up. I'm your host Thor. This is Brian with the mustache still kicking. What did we call it last week? The baby Kurt Russell
Yeah.
in Hateful Eight mustache.
Oh, yeah.
And then this is my brother Toby. Check his stuff out. Check out Blue Felix. Anything you can find him if you want. And as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. If you like what you just saw, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our videos, follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and like our Facebook page.